Hi, my name is Ric Murphy. I'm the National Vice President for History for the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society. We're the largest society worldwide that promotes African-American history and genealogy. I'm very passionate about the organization. Part of my passion on the organization is I descend from enslaved ancestors and free ancestors, both from the north and in the south of the United States of America. My history is entwined with American history, and American history is entwined with my family history. As an author, I write an awful lot about African American history and the contributions that we've made to these United States. The African American Historical Genealogical Society, we like to call ourselves AAHGS for short. We're a national organization. We have chapters all over the country. Our members are very passionate about the work that they do, about the scholarly research that they conduct. We have made tremendous strides in working with local communities, school departments, school systems. We're looking at school curriculum to make sure that it advances and promotes African American history. We work with local governments in terms of African American artifacts and cemeteries, historically black colleges. So our emphasis across the country is one that we're very much entrenched with the local communities and how to improve the conditions of those that live in those communities, but also the legacy that we inherited, but the legacy we're going to leave behind. On August 25th, 2019 is going to be the 400th commemoration of the first documented Africans in English North America. They were not the first Africans who came here, but these particular Africans who came from Kambasa, Angola. There is substantial documentation on who these men, women, and children were when they came here. They left Angola as enslaved. They were intended to be enslaved when they went to Veracruz, New Spain, which is present-day Mexico. But by the fate of history, the ship that they were on, the San Juan Baptista, was pirated by two English ships flying under foreign marques. And when they landed in Virginia, they became free men, women, and children. Their history and legacy is an important one. They are the ancestors to almost all present-day African Americans. Their life is very different than the lives of millions of other Africans who were part of the antebellum slavery. When they left Angola, they were Catholics. They were highly educated. They had strong personal skills, professional skills. And when they brought those skills to the colony of Virginia, they were able to progress like no other group of individuals who came here, English and African. These particular Africans were so unique. They became magistrates. They became owners of large herds of cattle. They became owners of large acreage. Anthony Johnson owned 2,000 acres of land. Juan Pedro became one of the heroes in Maryland. John Gowen became a magistrate. There's so much rich information about these particular Angolans. There was a very small window for the opportunity that these Angolans were able to accomplish, and unfortunately upon their death was actually the birth of antebellum slavery that we've come to know today. But there are so many Americans, African Americans and European Americans, who descend from these very original Angolans. So the 400th commemoration is a very historic moment in African American history. It's also a very historic moment in American history, and it's one that's going to be celebrated not only across the United States, but it's also being celebrated worldwide. As I mentioned before, the Afro-American Historical Genealogical Society is one that really promotes Afrocentric history and genealogy. Under the leadership of our president, Gene Stevenson, we launched a 400th Commemoration Commission to honor the first documented Africans. We're working with communities across the country, whether it's in the areas of education, community development, faith-based. We're writing publications. We're helping family members connect to their ancestors. European Americans and African Americans. So AAHGS is really on the forefront of changing the perception of a false narrative in terms of who we as African Americans are, in terms of what people perceive, but the reality in terms of who we are. I'm most fortunate to be aware that I am a descendant from two different ancestors who came here in 1619. And we're hearing more and more of people coming forward saying that they too have done their genealogical research to find out that they are descended from the first documented Africans. So AAHGS has really been in the forefront of this. We've done an awful lot to help connect communities, connect people to this very historic milestone.